Hey, Shonda.
Hey, Adam.
I wish we could get our before talk on here because we're
Welcome to Relative
relative
Opinions.
opinions. That's right. We've got a good show for you today.
We do.
We're going to give you a format of what we're talking about, some of the things we're talking about. We're talking about today. We are going to be talking about Charlie Kirk
We are.
and his assassination and everything following that. Muslim community. These are probably going to be reoccurring themes for a little while too.
Hopefully.
Yes, they are. Week to week. Digital IDs. Boom. Digital IDs. You need to
Yay.
freak out when you hear that term, our dear listeners.
You really do. You
You really
should
do.
freak out.
We're going to talk
You
about
should freak
Pfizer's
out.
deal with Trump, or with the Trump
Mm,
administration anyway. And
yay.
a little bit about Netflix, little pop culture there. I think that's it. We only got an hour. If that right, Shonda? We got an hour?
That's right. Let's roll, man. Let's roll.
Okay.
Let's
What
do it.
What are we starting with, my sister?
We're going to start with Charlie Kirk and all that has occurred since we last spoke, which would be they had a very large memorial for him, which was nice, which was really nice.
The moral was one of the most incredibly moving. You're talking about the memorial at in Arizona.
Yes, and
Yeah,
also was
5.5, 6 hours. I watched the entire thing
of Jesus being mentioned over and over and brought to the front, which is really hasn't happened in I don't know how long.
Yeah, the memorial definitely focused on things Charlie Kirk was passionate about.
That is correct. It was really beautiful. And, up until a certain point, I was watching it all. And up until a certain point, I was enjoying it. But then my Dateline alarm went off.
I didn't even know where you were going to go, what you were going to introduce.
My Dateline alarm started going off, and I was like, there were some things that just weren't sitting right with me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like a horrible human being. I'm a monster.
We talked about this. We talked about are there things we're not allowed to talk about concerning this because
it makes you feel like you're a monster. Because no matter the outcome of this, though, as in Charlie Kirk's death, his legacy will never be tarnished. His legacy that he created
just with him.
Yeah. Yes, that God blessed that. And he really did have a passion for young people and to spread the gospel and to love your country and to embrace, to have a family. That will never, I don't feel like that will ever change.
But my sister and I are starting to feel like this is a little like the Truman Show.
Possibly.
A very dark version, possibly, of the Truman Show.
Possibly.
Or
I don't
JFK
know.
2.0.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like, I don't know everything. I have been watching a lot. I've watched, everyone should be watching Candace Owens.
Yes, Candace Owens is fearless. She is not a conspiracy theorist. She is going down. She's going down avenues, and she has resources. You need to tune into Candace Owens. We're sort of just jumping on some of her, leaping off her shoulders a little. Absolutely, we'll say that right off the bat.
Possibly the group that's most concerning is our own FBI. They concern me the most, as in they seem to be. It's as though they're reporting on a different crime scene.
Yes. Well, let me just say, in JFK's case, the questions, and Candace has asked these, just real quick. In JFK, they put it to bed, and then because they needed to squelch any questions, this is our government, and now we look at it and go, oh, the fix was in, and so many of us, but then they had the Warren report, 1,000-page report, just basically nonsense, okay? Nonsense. And the other question that presented is, where were JFK's closest friends and allies? Why didn't they keep this going? Why did did everybody just abandon this, the question of his
Obviously.
death? It sure
Obviously,
appears that they did.
and even when you look back at it and hear some of the phone calls between um JFK's wife there, White, like her
You know
name
what? You
just
got me just then because I could have said her name anytime.
Jacqueline
Yes, good
Kennedy,
grief.
and
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 LBJ.
her and LBJ, they had some really weird conversations, and
And
I
can you
think we
see where
said
we're
this
going with
last time.
this? Can you see,
Her,
dear listener, where you're going with this? We found some of the behaviors, and trust me, I don't want to go down here, but
no, I really don't either. I
I
don't
really
want
don't
to
because
say
I
too.
don't want to do. It was such a great memorial that you don't want to start going. But what's wrong with this? Because we know the assassination is loaded with problems. So those people, in my opinion, that spoke on stage that night, they should all be wanting to know the same things. They should all have problems with this.
Everyone should have.
Everyone.
Everyone, if it were you or my spouse, or if it happened to me, I would want someone to ask all the questions. Like, please ask questions. If it seems off, please don't accept a narrative. If I have multiple bullet holes in my back and they rule it as a suicide, could somebody please check into that?
Yes. And I'm not suicidal. You
I'm not
know,
suicidal
I'm
either.
not
I
suicidal.
that's like the thing that Candace Owens has had to say it.
All these people are starting to have to say they're not suicidal because
Marjorie Taylor Greene,
the,
Theo Vaughn,
the more you
like
question that narrative, you got to say, I'm not suicidal. Remember Tyler Robinson? The rumor came out that he was suicidal, not suicidal.
it's not
If I
suicidal.
was Tyler Robinson, I would be terrified for, I'd be
Oh my
terrified.
gosh. I would be so afraid that he seems off though. And I want to know, has anyone seen him like in person
Well,
besides
the
our
trials
own?
are supposed to go public, so I
Okay.
don't know how we want to piece together. Do we want to step back to our narrative here? Let's go back to our problems. And one of them is, and you understand, we can say something feels wrong in your gut. It was
Right.
Charlie Kirk's wife.
Okay, but I'm not going to go too far down there.
You,
My problem was the casket scene. I had a severe problem with that being filmed. I didn't
it,
understand it.
it was
I
so inappropriate.
I couldn't grasp it. And as if I were in mourning and it's been like 3 days since my spouse has been assassinated, that's for me, that would be such a private, personal moment. I'm not implying she has anything to do with this, by the way.
We're just saying
I'm
something. It
just,
doesn't seem right to us.
it feels off. And then when she spoke and said, I forgive him,
Back at
meaning
the
the
memorial,
shooter, back at the
it
memorial.
like what that effect was is it was we're all supposed to be done with it. Like if you question that narrative now, you're a horrible person for questioning because she's forgiven him,
She's
which of
forgiven
course
him.
means
She's
he's
accepted it. She's
which means
accepted.
you need to believe he's guilty. I've talked to people, Shonda, the people that have similar viewpoints to me, and they're good with the narrative. Like, wait, isn't that just what happened? It's like, no, there's so much out there. And yes, it's going to wear you out looking at it and following what the hat you have on, following, going down some of these rabbit
So
holes.
down.
That's my hat, by the way.
Robert,
She's stolen my
you
hat
just had
again.
to say that.
I
You
did.
had to say that, didn't
My
you?
sister has yet
You
again taken
had to.
another hat
I
from
knew
me.
you would. You
That's
would
going to be a
have
theme of
to
the
say that.
show. Which hat is that? That's mine. Oh, Shonda. Yes, I did. I'm going to start writing hats with my name on it. Underneath the symbol, I'm going to say Adam. You know, like our mothers
My
used to do on our
gosh.
clothes and stuff. And then on the humor on the Charlie Kirk show.
The following, I don't know if I think it was the following day after the memorial. Like I couldn't. It didn't set right with me. I couldn't watch it because it felt very off to me. Or when it's like, let's move along, normal business. We've already replaced him. It just felt very strange to me. Now, I'm not in her shoes. I don't know what it feels like, but TPUSA in general, this whole just moving on, and Candace Owens is like, no, I'm not going to let you guys move on
Right. We're
because
not ready to
something's
move on.
wrong.
If there's things that are wrong and we can see it from just all the questions, and I saw Kash Patel saying, he's labeled us now, by the way.
I know.
Anybody that questioned the narratives, taking pot shots at the narratives, we're now. By the way, we're the same group that supported this administration. But now, if you
Isn't that
question
strange,
the
though?
FBI's
Isn't that
narrative,
strange? Because didn't at one time Kash Patel question the
narrative.
And Dan Bongino, didn't he question the narrative? You know what I feel dumb about? I feel, I was all excited with Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, and now I feel like an idiot. I feel like an actual idiot.
Yeah.
Because they were going to be the dream team. And I don't feel like I was, unrealistic about it. I just thought they came with such fire. And Adam, that makes me question. Sometimes I'm like, when they have all the Senate hearings and they grill them because this is where I'm starting to go. Like, I question everything
theater?
now. Is it theater?
Is it all theater?
Is that what they're supposed to do? So then we're like, oh, well, we really want him because they don't like him so much. He must be really good because he's going to bring the fire to him. Maybe it's all an act. Maybe.
And here's the thing. There's a lot of times, we are not Trump cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Were we happy? Did we thank God that Trump won the election?
Yeah.
Yes. But Trump, by extension, his administration is Trump. That's the Trump administration. So he doesn't just get to basically say, well, he's immune from any criticisms because his administration is doing all these things. He's got to be aware of it. So
absolutely,
he does not get a win or a pass on these things.
No, absolutely not.
And they're big things. I don't just care about economics. It's a giant overarching.
I totally agree with you.
Of course I do. But there's other things that we're horribly unimpressed and we question.
Sure, because in reality, anything, whether it was all the fraud that Elon Musk discovered, if it Epstein, and I am concerned with Trump and Pfizer, Trump and AI, Trump and Peter Thiel. I'm very concerned with some of the stuff I'm seeing. And of course, this makes you go, I don't think we're going to be able to vote our way out of this. Because they in theory would have been this dream team. And what have they arrested? What has occurred that has changed? Nothing.
And I agree that legal process, I'll be the first to say, I think it's very compromised, the legal process. It is.
But it's like it happens and then it goes away. Ooh, look at all this that Elon Musk discovered. Gone away. It's gone. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to any of it?
People did lose their jobs over that, which I'm glad, the people that lost their jobs. But here's the thing. I'm still going to say it is what you're doing. The spotlight is on the Charlie Kirk. And you know what a spotlight produces? It produces, you see it totally, and it produces the glaring problems in the administration. The glaring problems. And so
the fact that Kash Patel is talking about limiting freedom of speech
and bonding,
you don't think that's so disconcerting? The people that were supposed to champion it, that under Biden, that was terrifying. Well, it's equally terrifying under Trump.
Right. Trump blew us off. Let's just say a couple things. Trump blew us off, obviously. He blew us off on the Epstein stuff.
Absolutely.
His supporters, he blew
get
us
over
off.
it.
Okay, get over it.
Move along.
Move along. Okay. Although he's not going to say the same thing with Charlie Kirk, his administration is move along. It's done. It has to be done because we've landscaped over the place where he was shot. We're erecting we're erecting things. We not only did we just immediately destroy the crime scene.
Also, they caught him in a record 33 hours. I don't know what's the big deal about 33 hours, but if Kash Patel says 33 hours one more time, I'm like, I don't even know
Caught
what
him in
that
33
means.
hours.
Yeah,
Like
33 hours. 33 hours. Oh,
we're saying, you caught him
okay.
in 33 hours because it was scripted. Yeah, I could catch somebody too if I'd already scripted the narrative. I mean, there's so many problems with the Charlie Kirk, and recently I had someone I know, um, and she said, what is the problem with this? And I proceeded to, and I just talked to her the other day. I proceeded to send her probably 45 clips from X, and now she agrees. And we don't see eye to eye politically on everything, but she's a smart woman, and she's looking at things because you can't ignore them, Shonda. And you know what? They keep coming. They keep coming. I'm waiting for them to do a Warren report on this. We'll assemble a crackerjack team of political people, and we'll vet this real quickly.
Even if you go back in time, remember when Trump was elected, he's like, I'm going to release the JFK files, and we will release absolutely nothing of consequence. Yeah. I mean, there was not.
In fact, what's it like in the line in Princess Bride? Be prepared to be disappointed. That's what I feel like. Be prepared to be disappointed. I mean, we're going to tell you our wins. You need to really celebrate our wins, but the other stuff, you just need to sort of be quiet.
Almost so anyone who's ever shot a gun more than once has a problem with the Charlie Kirk narrative. Okay, as in across the board. The Charlie Kirk scene when he was assassinated, there's so much going on that stage that is suspect. It's unreal.
Right. And please question. Go. We're not showing you the slides. Just get on X, which we're just sort of deciding X may be one of the only free speech platforms
since everything else is being bought.
Everything else is being bought. I mean, we're talking about TikTok in case you want to know. TikTok our biggest problem was the Chinese were operating it. The Chinese. Well, we think it was maybe always planned that another pro-government, entity, somebody supporting another government would buy it.
Right. It was probably never about China to begin with.
Yeah. And my sister and I even talked about, this is crazy that we think there may be, governments. There's only one that we can't talk about, or we have to watch what we talk about. And by the way, when you get out there, you're going to see that. You're going to see, and if you go, well, which government is that? Grab the alphabet. We can talk about America. We can talk about Britain. I'm just going down at C, China, they're fair game. Denmark, Ethiopia, the F is Finland. G, we'll take Georgia. H, we can talk about Haiti. Poor Haiti. We don't want to talk about Haiti. And then we hit I, and we probably could talk about Iceland, but we won't. But there's some other I country we have to be careful about. We'll just stop there.
And there's so much wrong with the Charlie Kirk narrative at this point that I am curious how it's going to continue to play out, but it's extremely disturbing, and it's very they're trying to control a narrative that no one's buying, and that's why I think it's making them more desperate, and that's why Kash Patel is actually like, I would like to take away free speech.
Yeah, that's it. If you oppose something, but that's why they want to. They just have to try to figure out, how can we label this hate speech?
Right.
How can we label this in a label?
Or we're going back to disinformation, clickbait, disinformation. It's causing a problem. And obviously he's talking about like your Tucker Carlson, Candace Owen. They're a problem.
Yes, they
are. Because Candace Owen is getting millions of views, and people are going, hey, wait a minute. And it appears she's truly the only one that was Charlie Kirk's friend.
That's what it's starting to look like. And she is legitimately said, they're trying to distance her relationship, like she has no idea.
Right.
They're trying to discredit her. Proponents of Turning
Isn't
Point.
that in itself strange?
It's strange because she spoke with Turning Point, and she said she was coming back on the show.
Right, and she spoke last year twice with Turning Point.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I'm waiting to see if Turning Point, I'm waiting to see who they favor, like what countries they favor. And I'm also waiting to see if they continue with Charlie Kirk's Christian emphasis on Christ and salvation and a relationship with the Savior. I'm waiting to see if that changes as well.
I am too. I'm waiting to see. We will see. This will play out over the rest of the year. And you really should not just look at one source. You should look at multiple sources and be intelligent about it. Like, question, watch, and you can watch a lot of stuff now, and it does not show the final horrific scene that's always blurred out now, which I'm so grateful about, because I don't ever want to see it again. And
I don't either. I can't to see that again.
You can see multiple things going on in the crowd, behind him, cameramen. There's so much wrong with the scene, and it's
they
not
just
even
keep on coming up with new things that if you look at, you're going to have to go, I have questions here. And basically, Kash Patel said, well, any questions just coming out from this fringe group, we're gonna ignore them because it's a fringe group now.
I don't answer to them. I don't answer them. I don't have to worry about them.
You've taken a supporter, right? And I'm now your fringe. I'm the fringe group. I mean, I'm getting reclassified here. That's crazy.
You're part of the woke Reich.
Yeah, we were called. Now we are according to Bibi Netanyahu, we are the woke
Reich. Yes, because nothing will shut someone up quicker than labeling them.
And in case you're wondering, I hope so. You recognize the Third Reich. Do you recognize the irony that the left basically causes everybody Nazis, and now an ally, somebody that should be an ally of the United States, and
people get really
called us the Reich.
People get really afraid of being labeled. They get terrified of it, because once you're like, people really need to get over that. If you're making sense, don't care if you get labeled. Don't care.
We were labeled Christian nationalist. That term is evidently stuck because enough media outlets have used it, so it has a different connotation than the average Christian now.
Yes, it's true.
I wonder if the Nigerians being slaughtered for their Christian faith, are they Christian nationalists or just regular Christians that are being killed?
Something else that's not being talked about would the amount of Christians being slaughtered in other countries by who's that group? You don't want that you'll get labeled again if you point out that, Muslims are slaughtering Christians in other countries by the thousands and thousands. In fact, more Christians have been slaughtered by Muslims than Palestinians have died. For some reason, and I'm not agreeing with Palestine, by the way. I'm not saying what's going on there is right either. I'm just saying nobody gets any attention over here in Nigeria as they slaughter Christians, or Syria as they slaughter Christians.
Right.
Nobody's covering it. Nobody. I find that they continually try to shut down narratives that they don't like.
Yeah, Nigeria, I think what was the figures? Is it 30 Christians a day?
Oh, it was
that's a lot.
Let's get that number away.
Well, I've heard different numbers, but it's a large number. It's a number that basically we who seem to the United States, who seems to adopt everybody's cause around the world, why are we not adopting this cause?
Why are we not?
Why is that not in the media? Why is that not on the spotlight? Why is Trump not addressing that?
It's funny. Some of your main news outlets, they're like, it's not happening, even though there's been over 50,000 100,000 people massacred in Nigeria for being Christian. It's not happening, just so you know. Just so you know, it's not real. It's not real.
Yeah, and we're by the way, we're not for innocents being massacred anyway.
No.
You know,
No, of course not.
we won't go. I mean, we won't. I would like to talk about eventually about what's occurring in Gaza.
I would
because
too.
those are some numbers that are disturbing as well.
They
They're
are.
very disturbing. Charlie Kirk said that arguably Gaza, this is Charlie Kirk's words, is being ethnically purged.
It would appear that is a possibility.
Yes.
It would appear that, there was a stand-down order on October 7th. It would appear that...
Yeah, listen to find Charlie Kirk's podcast on YouTube. Listen to what he
Alex
says.
Jones, Charlie Kirk, Candace Owen. There's a lot of people you need to be checking out right now.
And those people need big security details.
They do. And I think Tucker Carlson just did a 9/11 report, which I have not watched yet. He did a 9/11 report on all the lies we were fed in that one too.
And you know what? Sometimes people will hear things we say. There are people that would say, "Well, you're starting to sound." Well, of course, please, if we sound like a conspiracy theorist, like I said a long time ago, that term was invented by the CIA to discredit people that question the narrative. CIA. It's like, or we're unpatriotic because we question something. I want to go, this country was founded on questioning things.
Absolutely.
That we disagreed with. Charlie Kirk was all about free speech.
Yes.
He said there is no such thing as hate speech or speech that could be criminal. He said there's ugly speech, or speech you don't like that somebody else
uses. There's speech that can hurt your feelings, but it doesn't, it can't.
It's not prosecutable.
No. Or how about this? It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. So let's move on since we're talking about.
Can we talk Netflix real quick? Does it show? It's quick. We'll just throw it out.
Netflix. Okay, let's hear Netflix.
Netflix, stop. They've lost $25 billion in evaluation. They're hooking up with a unique team. They've hooked up with Cracker Barrel, and they've adopted the Cracker Barrel strategy.
Wait. I was canceling my Netflix prior to this because I was like, we only watch Seinfeld. And I was going through and I was like, why am I paying for Netflix? We don't ever watch it. I don't have children. So I wouldn't know they're programming towards kids.
I did not know that either. And so
right, because your kids are grown.
My kids are grown.
You wouldn't know.
They do watch some stupid anime, but they don't watch cartoons anymore aimed at 7-year-olds promoting trans ideology.
Kids. Yes,
cartoons.
Little kids.
They're targeting children.
So when I saw that with Elon Musk talking about it, and then I started digging into it, I was really appalled. And it prevented any procrastination, and I was like, and done.
Yeah, Elon Musk spoke out. He has a massive following, and bless you.
Right.
And the thing is that people forget is, according to Elon lost one of his own children to trans ideology. He has a personal.
He lost him in the sense of he's not in his life anymore.
I'm not saying life. Lost him as a from a relational standpoint.
Right.
And so he has a problem with this, and of course we do too. And so Netflix programming, and understand this, they want the hearts, minds, and souls of your children. They do.
Absolutely. They absolutely do.
Their cartoons. You think that I have problems with adult stuff that always has messages in it. White people bad. Men are stupid. Those messages are all in all their adult stuff. But I don't watch the children's things. They can even be more blatant with your children, what they're pushing.
I tried to watch something new the other day, and the cast was kind of interesting, and it was so dumb. The male was so dumb. All the males were so dumb. I was like, I can't take it. Like the show itself was just blatantly stupid. But I almost hate everything new. Almost.
Yes.
I almost hate every single thing new.
You know what?
I
They
did
don't really want
see.
to entertain. They want to educate you. They want to, if they're going for children, they want to indoctrinate them. With us, they just want to educate us because we missed it in school, Shonda. We missed the education we were supposed to get.
Oh wait, I did start watching a show on HBO because I get that free, or Max, or whatever it's called now. It's called Good Cop, Bad Cop, and it's about a brother sister cop team. And I watched the first episode, and I was like, this is decent. Like, it was decent.
That is unusual.
Like,
That is unusual.
I thought, oh my gosh, what's happening? You should check it out.
Okay,
Now,
I'll
I've only
check it
watched
out.
the first episode. It could tank. It could like just dive bomb later on. It
So
could
if
be
you do
super.
drop your Netflix membership, like I did too, and I've dropped it once before,
I have
but
too.
you know what? We've got to start speaking with your wallets. Don't fiscally, financially support things that are pushing something inimical or the opposite of what you believe in. Quit funding it, if possible. If possible, I'll be the first to say it's going to be tough if please, Elon, don't tell me I need to boycott Amazon because I don't know
you just
what I'll do.
keep funding Jeff Bezos, Adam.
Yeah,
Just
I
keep
have a
funding
problem
him.
there.
That's great. You have a big problem. So let's
now
I
we'll
want
move to where
to
you want to move to, Shonda.
Pfizer, Albert Bourla. Now I was watching this interaction on TV between Trump shaking Albert Bourla's hand. I did see Kennedy's
He's the
face.
VP of Pfizer, right? Pfizer, the
They are
ones who
one of
brought
the most
vaccine.
egregious company. They've done the most egregious things, but we're going to let them invest $70 billion into, let's see, we're going to let them invest into, medicines and more delightful mRNA vaccines.
Sometimes what Trump calls a win, we do not think of as a win.
I can't even believe it. So the Pfizer vaccine during COVID was one of the most nightmarish ones that had the most side effects. That would be long-term side effects up to including death. And so if you voted for Trump and one of your loved ones died from a side effect of a vaccine or the vaccine killed them, yeah, I'm sure you're really loving it, watching him shake hands with Albert Bourla.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
When you were growing up, did you hear the term a lot of times vaccine injured? You hear it now.
All the time.
Vaccine
and Pfizer
injured.
Is at the myocarditis, that was a Pfizer vaccine.
Yeah. Yeah,
so they're gonna reduce their drug prices. Okay, how exciting. And let me get in line to take something they make. No, they did not. Yay! I mean, Albert Bourla took his own vaccine.
No, I'll never forget the list of everyone that was exempt for the vaccine. We should never forget that list. The list of people who didn't take it.
Who weren't required, even though they tried to force it on you. I was willing to lose everything and like live under a bridge if I had to. No. I didn't care. Yeah. I wasn't going to take it under any circumstance.
And so many people I talked to today accept the whatever they agree. They regret taking it. And most of them didn't take a second one unless it was part of their little 2-shot series thing.
If people still want to take it, I encourage them to do so.
Shut up. Be quiet.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I had to pick up a prescription the other day, and I had that like a shirt on. It said "Follow the money," and it was, like it's all about money and blah, blah, blah. And I picked up my prescription, and the woman behind the counter, she's looking at me, and I see her look at my shirt, and she's like, well, I'm supposed to offer you, and now she lowers her voice, the flu shot, but I'm thinking you're not going to want to take the flu shot. And I go, you would be right. And she goes, yeah, And then she lowered her voice. She goes, "You never know who's listening, but like, I understand." And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You know, if you want to get into who's listening and who's watching, that is a great segue
Yeah.
into digital ID.
Digital ID. Don't you want to be a part? Or do you want
Let's
to live on the creek bed?
let's talk about, first of all, if you're in America, once again, we talk about things that are inimical to our freedom and our way of life. The on the horizon, one of the largest things is the digital ID system. So if you want to be like China, I argue they pioneered it. Okay, they know where you are. You know, if you want to fly a plane, social credit. China, they got that going. So if you're a big fan of that, then you should be a big fan of social ID, digital ID. Sorry, Vietnam is implementing it. They turned off the bank accounts. They shut down.
I forget how many
86 million people.
86 million. Wow. Yeah, million. Yeah. Wow.
Denied access to their bank accounts because they didn't want to accept digital ID. And understand, they're going to get to a point where you've accepted so much you're almost there. If you don't like the last couple pieces, they're going to do it anyway. So let's bring it right to the one nearest us that we've always felt like. We used to feel like, did we not sort of identify, even though we rebelled against them in 1776, we always viewed UK. We fought a world war with them.
Sure,
we always
viewed UK
as, like, when you talk about allies, UK's right at the top of that list. And so they were viewed as somebody that's like us. They should now be viewed as what they want us to be. So whatever they're putting upon UK, imposing is a better word.
The government.
We're talking about the government. Keir Starmer said, you're going to have digital ID.
Okay? To work there.
If you want to work. So understand that if you want to work, unless you're the groups that's being supported by the government, but that's not your workers today. That's your immigrants. They're supported by that system. So maybe
if you're an American and you go over there, you will have to submit to their biometrics. Like you will have to also get a digital ID if you travel over there. Just heads up if you're going to the UK. When you hear that,
though, does that not freak you out? If you want to work, which means, like, over here, think of it like your social security number. If you want to work, if you don't want to work, right now we're going to let you do it if you don't want to work. But if you're not receiving government assistance, and by the way, they will tie this to government assistance eventually too.
They'll tie it to everything.
Yeah, they'll tie it to everything. So if you want to work, if you don't want to work, like if you don't need food, okay, if you don't need to heat your home or AC your home, if you're in Texas, then maybe you could go without this for a while. Okay, but this is coming, and and they want it to come here to the United States.
They do. They do. And when currently right now in the UK, it's work right now, but it will be tied to your carbon footprint. It will be tied to your health records, your meat consumption, your car, like what you're able to buy, clothes you buy, everything.
They'll know everything you purchase. And by the way, I mean, understand, the technology's here. We have phones. We have these things that already track us. Okay? We're tracked. Understand, we're a tracked population.
We are
tracked. So get over that part. I mean, I'll be the first to say I willingly have allowed myself to be tracked. So they already know many things about us. Okay? But this will be tied to things that remove your freedom of choice. And they will, in your livelihood. And, they want smart cities. Will you be able to travel? Will you be able to, because there'll be social issues.
Will you be able to have a car?
Will there be a carbon footprint issue? Will there be social issues? You don't think they could control your speech eventually? By controlling everything else? Of course they can.
You must reject digital ID. If you don't, meaning, so if having one of these means that down the road it ties into it,
your government benefits,
you'll have to give up some stuff.
Yeah.
Reject digital ID. Everybody should be checking out. Her name is Whitney Webb. You can find her on X. You could find she's written books. She
And she's
wrote
sort of neutral. She's
she
not a
is.
partisan.
She's not left or right or anything. She just it's the facts.
It's the facts.
And if you don't reject digital ID, it's going to be a good time in the future for you. I mean, yeah. But I feel as though we're with younger people especially,
They'll be more willing.
they'll be more willing because it will be tied to they're so addicted to social media, they're so addicted to the internet, the like everything that's tied in internet. I sound really old. The internet, Google,
Being called
but
the
it's
internet.
the internet. I'm 200. But
And by the way, you would think this would be this is not going to be a ballot box issue. You're not going to get
no,
to vote
no.
on this. In the UK, what they just imposed, he said flat out, you may vote on this. There's a huge movement against this. The government is going to implement it anyway. It
You're
does
gonna
not
have
make
to
a
reject it
difference.
anyway, though. You're gonna have to reject it, whatever that means.
But
You're gonna
get
have
ahead
to
of this.
reject it.
If you hear things like safety, we're going to use it to. I mean, over there in UK, they're using
That
it
was
to track
That was
illegal
COVID.
immigration.
Safety was COVID.
Safety,
And look how
gotta have
many
safety.
people fell for that, all in the name of safety. Don't kill your grandma. You don't want to die, do you? We'll put a ticker down at the bottom of the screen and let you know how many people are dying
God, I
from COVID.
forgot about that. The COVID death counter.
That was all safety,
Oh
though.
my gosh.
And I saw rational people become so afraid they couldn't even leave their homes.
Yeah.
Rational people that suddenly couldn't function anymore. It's really insane.
I know a person who's fairly conservative, but that person has Fox News on all the time, and I'm sure they watched that. I shouldn't say that. But everybody was in on COVID, okay?
The entire world.
Nobody
The entire
was opposing.
world.
Yeah, nobody was opposing COVID.
All governments were in on it.
Yep.
All governments. They'll all be in on digital ID too.
No, they
all
like
governments
it. They
will be in on digital ID eventually.
Yes,
it's coming.
We are the last bastion. So of course they're coming for us. They're coming for you. And they've done a good job educating the young people and the college age, and they've done a good job, and that's where Charlie Kirk shined.
Maybe we should say, if you really want to understand what's coming, you also need to pick up your Bible.
Yes, I agree. But at the same time, I think you have to expound on that. In other words, because we're talking things like Revelation in the Bible. So we do need to,
Daniel.
We do need to
Matthew,
illustrate
Revelation.
How we get there, that we're in the process. We're in the process of going a certain direction. Okay?
Oh, it's coming.
I mean, yeah, I don't want people to lose faith. There are things that are going to happen, but you know what? You have personal responsibility. You know, Shonda, one of the terms I really like is, or I find fascinating, I should say, is cry havoc. You heard the term cry havoc, right?
Yes.
You heard that? Cry havoc.
Yeah.
So when somebody says cry havoc, now we view it, and it's interesting because that term is used by both sides. Cry havoc now means we're sounding the alarm, people. Cry havoc. We're giving you a heads up of what's coming. We're saying, cast a very discerning eye, pray for a spirit of discernment. But strangely enough, the origins of the term cry havoc was what they would tell the armies, like you could go and pillage, you could basically take complete advantage of the local populace. It was used the other way.
Okay.
And so, trust me, we're saying cry havoc, but the governments around the world and those institutions, they're saying cry havoc too, because they want to take over, to move in and remove your rights. They do. And you know what? We talk about our Western heritage. We're talking about our traditional heritage because everybody isn't going to believe like we believe, and we're actually trying to protect them as well. even though they may disagree with us. We want them protected as well.
No, it's the same along the lines of free speech. I may not like what you say, but I'll fight for your right to say
Yeah.
it, even
We may even
if
think
I
you're a
loathe
sheep.
it.
We may even
I
think you're sheep.
may.
We may take on, and you might be a sheep, but we want to protect your freedom as well. And
Absolutely.
we don't want,
Uh,
and you may not realize you're losing your freedoms. And so all these things we go at, you should go at as well. So when you look at things like anything, in my opinion, that is traditional, okay, in the United States, which means our founding fathers, things that we have held dear to us, whether that's
Right.
our belief in Christianity, whether that's our Second Amendment rights, these are things, they're going after everything that are the pillars of the United States democracy, where we
They
started
are.
from.
They
Okay?
absolutely are. And it doesn't seem necessarily always government dependent. I mean, look, I'm grateful Kamala Harris isn't in there. Okay. I am, but that doesn't mean I have full faith in this current administration.
No, I think we should
I,
probably
I
talk throughout the year. I'd like to do a special on like maybe the first year in office, which is coming up, a year in office. Um, you know, and I've seen people track this before. There needs to be wins and losses because everything for me is not about economics. That's a gigantic,
absolutely not.
you
It
know,
isn't.
that's a gigantic issue, but it's not all about that
No, it's not.
because I'm looking at long-term things. Like
I
we talk about digital ID. Most people probably don't. There's a lot of people that be like, well, I've got my phone and I've got my biometrics and AI's. It's like understand what it's going to be used for. And I hate to say that, but most
under
technological advances in this area with monitoring and security and access, they're going to be used for nefarious purposes eventually.
absolutely. Also, don't cell phones. I mean, like Bill Gates is calling. He's like, no. I mean, eventually the cell phone will go away. That's even more terrifying.
Oh my gosh, yes, that's true.
That's
That's
even
true.
more terrifying in
That's
the
true.
sense of, so what replaces it? Oh, something permanent on my body. Oh,
We're gonna
that's
stick an
cool.
antenna right in your brain. That's what replaces it.
It reminds me of that Dean R. Koontz book, Night Shine or Eye Shine or whatever. Do you remember that book, Adam?
I've read too
Like the
much.
shine that they had, the eye shine.
No,
Like,
I've read them
God.
all. I've absorbed too
Anyway,
many.
his kid, this sheriff or whatever, his kid becomes one with his computer. And he like
Oh yeah,
finally
I know
bought,
what you're talking about. I know what
yeah,
you're talking about. Yes.
like he
Yeah.
melds with his computer.
And you don't think
Well,
people are wanting that you're going to eventually meld in some way, shape, or form from a stimulus standpoint with AI?
Peter Thiel has a really interesting of transhumanism that gets him really excited about like melding. It's really, ooh,
Uh,
it's different. So let's wind up on this. Things to check out. Candace Owens,
Candace Owens,
Tucker Carlson,
Tucker Carlson, both
Whitney
people.
Webb.
Whitney Webb, Tucker Carlson,
Oh,
both.
Ian Carroll. Ian
Ian
Carroll. I don't
Carroll.
want to leave him out. He's really good. Um, check out some of Megan Kelly.
We're gonna
Check
try
out
to. My
some of these
sister is my
people.
esteemed producer of our show. So I've challenged her to try to see if we could get some, videos up on the screen because I mean that speaks louder than words. It's our words anyway. Uh,
Uh-huh.
because there's such great content out there, and whether that's Rumble or X, um, I
Substack. Uh, there's a lot out there that you can find content on, and
right, and we are
X
not
obviously being
suggesting that you doom scroll like I
no.
do. But I can. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I can take it. I don't know if my wife can take it, but I can take doom
I
scrolling.
can't take it.
I can take it because you
Also,
need to be anchored in
I
something larger if you're going to.
no. So
It's true.
that the biggest thing you should check out is the Bible. The Holy Bible. you should check that out, because it offers you hope that you certainly will never find on X or whatever. And with all the doom and gloom, there is hope.
Your trust is not in man or man's creation.
Absolutely
Okay?
not. It's really
They
not.
will fail you. They will fail
They
you.
will fail you repeatedly. And
Yep.
so definitely pick up the Bible, check out a church, and that will well, it will dramatically change your life.
There you go, Shonda. There you go. What on that positive note?
Okay, Adam.
All right, for relative opinions.
For relative opinions, signing off.
Signing off. By the way,
Peace out.
my sister's jealous of my background too.
Oh, I'm getting a matador is what I'm doing.
We'll have to talk about that later. She's not getting a matador.
I'm getting a matador. It'll split time, but I'm getting a matador.
We'll explain that later. All right. Well, we thank you for tuning into us today, and we look forward to seeing you within the next week again.
Bye.
Bye, all.